Now the next concept I am going to start today, that is interface. This is not present in C, C++. This is very much important concept in Java. What is this exactly? Interface is nothing but a services requirement specification. You think that this word is very much hard, but actually it is very easy concept. Services requirement specification, you can call like SRS. Let you want to do any task like calculation task, and there you want to just add some functionalities like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are multiple services. Like I want addition there, I want subtraction there, I want multiplication, division, I want to find square of a number, I want to find square root of a number, whatever your requirement. All those services you can group together and you can form one interface. Now there is no any implementation, only just a prototype, just a declaration is there. Means suppose you want to do these functionalities under that calculation task. That's it only. Only to represent this you can use interface. Means inside interface you are not going to implement those functionalities or whatever services. You just represent or you just mention there what are the services included inside that thing. Means suppose you are considering that calculator, then only these services are under this calculator concept. Now any class can implement that interface, and that class have implementations for all those services. This is only the concept. Means consider here, see, bank service. Now inside a bank there are multiple services, like you can deposit amount, you can just withdraw some amount, then you can just create your bank account, means start your bank account, means start bank account, withdraw some money, then just deposit some amount. Then there are multiple services under this banking. Okay, you can create one interface, and inside that you are not implementing those services. Means services means functionalities. If you are just representing multiple functionalities under one container, you can say, that is nothing but an interface. But you are only writing prototypes, you are only writing declarations there. Any class can implement that interface. Suppose you want to create a class that will represent bank as a entity, then that class can implement that interface, whatever services available there. Then see, any class can implement multiple interfaces also. Suppose there is one calculator task, calculator 1 suppose, and that is having 4 functionalities in it like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Suppose there is one more calculator 2 task, means calculator 2 entity you can consider, and that is having internally other services of calculation, like it is having suppose square of a number, square root of a number. All those are under one calculator 2 interface. Calculator 1 interface is having some basic functionalities. You can write any class that will implement both interfaces. Means that will have all the functionalities inside that calculator 1 task as well as calculator 2 task. Then all those methods, all those functionalities, whatever you have declared inside those 2 interfaces, you have to just implement inside that class. Get it? This is just an overall idea about interface. Interface is nothing but services requirement specification. Means here you are only specifying what are the services, but you are not implementing those services. Always keep in mind. Okay, because see, any class suppose you are creating, any instance of that class can have all those services. Now here see, services requirement specification means you are just grouping multiple services here. What are the services? What are the services needed? Those are just you are specifying, you are just writing prototypes there. That's it. And you are grouping under one interface, and you have to just give name to that interface. Now how to declare an interface? For that there is one syntax. Simple. How to create a class? We write class then class name, and inside that we write whatever fields and behavior, data members and methods. Here an interface can have data members as well as methods, but all those data members should be final, static, public. Means what? Final, static, public means constants, and all those methods should be abstract, means you are not going to implement those. Getting? And the combination of final, static, public, final, static fields and some abstract methods is nothing but a interface. Getting? Now here how to write? Just write interface keyword. This is a keyword, and then write name of that interface. Any name you can give. And then inside this block you can write multiple fields, and fields means this should be constants, and here method declarations only. Any number of methods, any number of fields you can declare over here inside one interface. It is an abstract type that will define behavior of a class. That's it. Getting? These two definitions are very much important. Just keep in mind. Okay. Now the next one is syntax to define interface. Just use here interface keyword, then name of interface. Any identifier you can use here, but normally the interface names ends with a LE. Means like clonable, runnable, in this way, writable, in this way the interface name is, but you can give any name. But whatever built-in interfaces, the examples are runnable interface is there, clonable interface is there. Getting? Like that, whatever built-in interfaces are, but there is no any restriction to you that give name such like that. But the interface name, whatever you are giving, that must follow the identifier rules. That's it. Only this is the point. Now here, see, here I am mentioning like constant declaration you can do or method declaration. Now see, these fields are by default public, static, final. You know meaning of all these keywords. Public means it is accessible everywhere. Here we are not writing that public, static, final. Always keep in mind. Any field, suppose you are declaring inside interface, there you will not write that public, static, final. By default, all the fields declared inside interface are final. Public, static, final. Here you have to write only int a equals to 10. Final, that's why you have to give their initial value. You cannot modify it. It is compulsory. Getting? Now, method declarations, all the methods are by default public, abstract. It is just like an abstract class, but it is not abstract class. What is the difference? I am going to explain. Don't worry about that. Getting? All the fields are by default public, static, final. Means here just like it, here you have to just specify any constant if you want to declare, then you can declare here as a fields. And whatever methods you will declare, like suppose you have declared here like void m1, simple. That method is returning nothing and that method is not taking any type of argument, suppose. Then by default it will be public and abstract. Getting? Now this is just how to declare any interface. Now for example, first we will write that interface keyword, then give any name to that interface. I am giving calculator. Now here I want to specify the behavior of that calculator, that task, all the services, whatever you want inside that calculator. Its representation you can write over here. But see here I am not writing any field declaration. Not compulsory. You can write. That part also we are going to see. Now inside that what are different methods possible that you have to write one by one. Simple, I am going to write only two methods like void add. Addition task I want to do. And second void let's subtraction. That's it. these two tasks I want to do inside this interface. That's it. This is just an example of interface. You can declare fields, like suppose I want to declare two fields, then int a equals to 10. Compulsion is there that you have to initialize that value. Why? Because that is a constant. Getting? And then next one, suppose b equals to 20 in this way. But there is no any requirement here that you have to define any fields. Here to understand only how to define fields, I have given here how to declare fields. But for that, one more example I am going to take. Here only consider two methods are there inside that interface. The first one is add and second one is sum. Here you cannot create object of this interface. Always keep in mind, because why? This is by default abstract. Abstract means no any implementation. How we can create object? Not possible. Okay, it is just like abstract class. If there is any abstract class, we cannot create object of abstract class. In the same way, we cannot create object of interface. But there are some differences. You already know abstract class can have non-abstract methods, means concrete methods can have, no any problem, because abstract class is to be inherited. Whenever you will inherit that class, inside that you can define the remaining methods, and whatever defined methods, those will automatically come. Getting? That is just abstract class concept. The difference in between abstract class and interface. Abstract class can have concrete methods also, but interface is having compulsory all abstract methods. Interface is providing total abstraction. Abstract class can provide partial abstraction. These are the differences. Why? Because abstract class can have concrete methods also. Instance variables are also possible inside abstract class. Instance variables are associated with object of that class, but not directly. You have to inherit that class, and inside that all those instance variables will come automatically. All the defined methods also will come automatically. Non-defined means abstract methods also be there. Means any one method may be abstract. Then also you can declare that class as an abstract class. Getting? That is the concept of abstract classes. And now here all the fields are compulsory constructs. Okay, public, static, final. And all the methods are public, abstract. So you will see here, whatever methods are by default, these two methods are by default public and abstract. Not default. Not default. See here, I am not writing anything. By default, methods inside interface are public and abstract. Always keep in mind public, not default. Here we are not writing anything, but these are not having default access modifier. Always keep in mind. There may be any confusion. Because inside a class, if you are writing like this, then by default methods of a class are having default access modifier. But here these methods are having public. And abstract means here we have given semicolon after method name, no implementation. Getting? It is compulsion. Means suppose any class is implementing this interface, inside that we have to define these methods. And while defining methods, we have to compulsory write public keyword. Here, don't write public keyword. But whenever we will implement this inside any class, then there we have to write this public keyword. How to do that? Everything I am going to explain with one example. Any doubts in this? Now see here, there are some points that you have to keep in mind. Constructors cannot be defined inside interface. How? Why? Tell me. Because we cannot create object of an interface, then there is no meaning of writing constructor inside that. One more point is there. Constructor is for specific class object. This interface can be implemented by any class. That's why we cannot write constructor inside any interface. All the fields are by default public, static, final. Next point is all the methods are by default public, abstract. Abstract means not having any implementation. That's it. We cannot create instance of an interface. Interface can't have constructors. All the fields are by default public, static, final, means constants declaration we can do here, and all the methods are by default public and abstract. Now next point is very much important point. Suppose any class is implementing interface. So we have written that calculator interface. If any class is implementing that interface, then whatever methods you have declared inside that interface should be defined in that class. Getting? All the methods. Suppose any class is implementing any interface. See, just interface is to be implemented by a class. Then there is meaning of that interface. Because we cannot create instance of that interface. Only interface is having no any meaning. That interface should be implemented by any class. Means we are just specifying that behavior of that class is like that interface. Multiple classes can have implementation for same interface, or one class can implement number of interfaces. If any class is implementing any interface, see, if any class is implementing any interface, then inside that class all the methods declared in that interface should be defined. Getting? If any method we are not implementing, let any method, means if 4 methods are there inside that interface, and inside that class suppose I am implementing only 2 methods, then that class should be declared as an abstract class. Getting? Suppose 2 methods are there inside that interface, whatever calculator we have seen, it is having 2 methods in that interface. Calculator interface we have just seen 2 methods are there, add and subtract. But suppose let any class test is implementing that calculator interface. Inside that suppose we are defining only one method from that. Getting? Only one add method suppose we have defined, sub method we have not defined, then no problem, but that class should be declared as an abstract class. Then only no problem, otherwise compiler will give you error. The compulsion is that those methods should be defined throughout that class hierarchy, means that class should be again inherited, and inside that the remaining methods should be defined. Okay, with one example I will explain all these points, don't worry, but before that you must note down these points. If any method is not defined, then that class should be declared as an abstract class, and the remaining methods should be defined inside inherited classes. Getting? Derived from that abstract class. Getting? And derived classes, why I am writing, because suppose from that abstract class, suppose you are deriving any class, again inside that suppose some methods are remaining, again you have to derive that class, and inside that you have to just define remaining methods. In that particular hierarchy of that classes you have to define all the methods. This is compulsory, but if some methods are remaining, then those classes should be declared as an abstract classes. Getting? With one example I am going to explain these points, this point particularly. Okay, any doubts in this? Easy. In one example, okay, interface calculator we are creating, and inside that 4 methods I have declared, like add, sub, multi and div. And now all these 4 methods we have to just implement inside any class. Okay, class will implement interface. If any class is implementing interface, then there we have to define all the methods declared inside that interface. Now here this test1 class is implementing this calculator interface. How to write that? Simple, class test1 implements calculator. But see, I have defined only one method here. Okay, public void add. This add method I am just implementing, void add int a comma int b. But before that I am writing here public. Public is compulsory because all the methods inside that interface are by default public, and but this is abstract, no implementation, and here we are implementing that method inside this test1 class because test1 implements calculator. Actually we have to define all those methods here, but we have just defined only one method. If we have defined all methods, then no problem, we can create object of this test1 class and we will just call all the methods of that class. Simple. Now here, but we have defined only one method. What to be done? If we have defined only one method, then of course compiler will generate error. And to avoid that, we have to write abstract keyword here before class declaration. Now abstract means now we cannot create object of this class, but fine, we can inherit this class and there we can define remaining methods, and that's why we have to write here abstract. Now we have to compulsory derive this class, we have to compulsory inherit this class so that we can define the remaining methods. We cannot create object of abstract class, you know this. Okay, now we will create one more class like class test2, which we are inheriting from this test1 class. Means we will write like this: class test2 extends test1. Now here again I have written abstract. Why? Only sub method I am defining here. Means this class is having now add and sub method. Implementation. Again two methods are not having implementation inside this class. Now again we cannot create object of this class. That's why we have declared this as an abstract class. Now the remaining two methods are there. Those I am defining here inside test3 class, and this one is like this: class test3 extends test2. See, for class also you can write public, but here default access modifier will be there for these classes. Means we can create object of this class is inside this package only, no problem. Okay, if you want to use this class inside any other package also, then just write here public. Okay, now here test3 class extends test2 means all the functionality from this test2, means add and sub both are here, because we are just creating this test2 using this one as a base. Now here all those two methods are there already, but and multi and div, for these two methods the implementation I am writing inside this test3 class. Now this class is having implementation for all these methods, and indirectly this test3 is implementing this calculator interface. Getting? Now inside main we can create object of this class, no problem. How to write? See here I am creating one class test, and here we will write like public static void main string args, and now here we will create object of this test3 class. How to create? Simple: test3 obj equal to new test3, and now we can call all those methods one by one. Simple: obj dot add 5,3, obj dot sub, again I am passing same arguments, everywhere you can pass different arguments also, no problem. Then obj dot multi, that's it. Getting? This is how to create interface and how to implement methods inside classes. Okay, now the remaining part I will explain in the next session. Till that, take care, bye bye, thank you.